Oh boy, you know there are more pressing matters in the world today, but I'm gonna use my platform to speak about this stupidity. This whole situation has been dubbed as GoonerGate. Why? And it all started with a tweet from Dread Roberts. Any person with a modicum of decency would say no. This, referring to a gameplay clip of The Last Descendant, is not where the future of gaming should be headed. The constant promotion of half-naked women as the quote-unquote greener side of gaming is getting ridiculous, and I'm beginning to think that these people who say they want to save gaming don't actually want to save it. So many claim to care about morals and the future generations, and not giving even an inch of progress to devs who push woke ideology or whatever else, but then they'll turn around and tell young men and women to support titles that throw this stuff in your face. Most of what I've seen for months now from these accounts are butt cheeks and cleavage. Seriously, how is this making gaming better? All we're doing is pushing normies in the same direction but on a parallel track. People may argue, we just want to push back on the ugly women agenda, just trying to make a point to the lefty weirdos. Okay, so where do we draw the line then? Because there doesn't appear to be one. This is why I say that we need real adults with real ambitions/aspirations and a mature outlook on the future to lead the charge in this industry. People who have their priorities straight and their arousal in check. I think this is a pretty reasonable and level-headed take, although the ending could have used a little bit more work. I think a lot of people completely misconstrued his point into him thinking that he's preaching for censorship, which that's not the case. But honestly, the real shitstorm happened when Melanie Mac posted her response to the original tweet in question. I agree with this take. I've been fighting with y'all against the woke mob turning female characters into troons, and I like characters to look attractive, but I don't want to be lumped in with those pushing for practically softcore porn and character design. That's degenerate. Curvy female characters like classic Lara Croft? Great. But curvy characters almost completely naked doing stripper dances? No thanks. Muscular male characters? Awesome. But these mods with Leon Kennedy and a jockstrap? Degenerate. No thanks. We want characters to look good without advocating for porn. I actually don't like Melanie Mac, but because I'm more concerned about ideas here rather than people, I'm willing to put my dislike of her aside, at least in this situation. But she's right in the fact that you could have a sexy character without that character being dressed in lingerie or a jockstrap. If I were to think of two sexy characters on the top of my head, I would go with Princess Daisy from the Mario series and Kai Kiske from the Guilty Gear series. And yes, I will fight to the death about my stance on Princess Daisy. The two characters I just brought up are still visually appealing, even though they're not in lingerie. In general, character design is a lot more complicated than it looks, especially when it comes to the simpler designs. The easy way out when it comes to character design is have the women wear lingerie, no rhyme or reason. I have a feeling some people might be asking, but what about Dead or Alive? Yes, there is fan servicey outfits for both the male and the female characters. However, their base designs are actual character designs. No one has a problem with unlocking fan servicey outfits or have moments in the story that are basically fan service. People have a problem when you overdo it. It's the same reasoning why I have a problem with the Coomer mods made for Guilty Gear Strive. Yes, I know I don't have to install them. No one's forcing me to. I get that. However, think about how it makes the community look. I've posted something similar to what I just said on my Twitter, and I have the tweet right here, so I'll just read it word for word. Though Dread's argument is about the constant promotion of it, referring to First Descendant, is also correct in the sense that we do have actual wins under our belt for the culture war. Logistically speaking, the promotion of First Descendant was not a wise move. Let me expand upon this tweet for a moment. The first win that I immediately thought of that we had under our belt was Black Myth Wukong. A pretty damn good game from what I hear. It's respectful to the source material, the gameplay's pretty fun. You've heard most of the praises of this game already. But instead of celebrating something that is truly remarkable, you're choosing to celebrate something that is rather unremarkable. I don't know why people think a woman shaking her ass in front of a camera is anything remarkable. That shit's all over the internet. Do they think it's like an upgrade to jiggle physics or something? Cause those have been around and have been perfected for a long time now. Something else that I need to ask as well is what qualifications does the first Descendant have that make it the future of gaming, other than T and A? If you take away the constant jiggle physics in your face, what do you get? Don't misconstrue this for me saying the game shouldn't exist, but we really shouldn't be pedestalizing predatory gacha slop. I'd like to circle back to the whole censorship argument that people keep on making, which is entirely untrue. The Aristocratic Utensil writes this: I want to ask all you stupid retards a question here. When the fuck did "I don't want to see this" become synonymous with "I wish to ban this"? Do fucking tell! Some of the responses I've seen to both Dread and Melanie Max posts, some of which are from people who I greatly respect, like V and Smash JT, dropped the ball on this one to say the least. V has basically been quoting the Bible out of context when he's talking about the religious aspect of all this. Dread and Melanie are not trying to proselytize anyone into becoming Christian by saying First Descendant is not the future of gaming. Also, nowhere in any of the statements from Dread or Melanie did they ever say that they are for censorship. Them and a lot of other people vocalizing their disinterest in the game does not mean that they want to stop people from playing it or getting it banned. There are so many people that say that our opinions on this matter equate to, you just want to censor this. That's some very childish reasoning right there, and I'll explain why. For the person who makes this argument, let's just say that you have a toy, right? You're having fun with it, but you also want to tell other people about it. But the other person isn't interested in hearing about it and doesn't want to play with it. The other person expresses that they're just not interested for X, Y, or Z. But then you say, you're just trying to take away my toy, when I was the one who said I have no interest in it. Do you see how disingenuous that sounds? It's also another example of what's called motivated reasoning. I'm more than willing to hear you out, but you're not willing to hear me out. I made a whole other video on this topic, which I recommend you should check out after this. Fans of First Descendant, I'm not trying to take away your toy from you or getting your toy banned. But I and other people are allowed to have opinions on your toy, whether it's positive or negative. I'd like to address some other nonsensical arguments that people tried to use on me that didn't work. The first one I'm gonna go over is free market. This is not about player numbers or how well a game is doing financially. This is about standards and video games as an artistic medium. I don't care about the player numbers or the revenue generated by First Descendant. That's not going to convince me of anything that you have to say. The next argument I'd like to address is don't like, don't watch. One of my Oshis actually used this line on me. I like to get at least a good understanding of what I'm talking about here when I make these videos or do my streams. I can't do that very well if I'm not looking at what I'm trying to criticize. Also, when it comes to many social media sites, it's getting harder and harder to control the algorithm in your favor. And I don't mean the video uploading aspect of online content. I'm referring to the For You pages of the internet. The last one that I want to touch on briefly is I did have somebody basically tell me to stop noticing. That's very much what a leftist would say, and that fucking annoys me. I'm just gonna go into a quick little tangent here. Who the fuck do you think you are telling me that I can't notice what's going on around me, or that I can't notice problems that are or could be happening? When you tell me to remain ignorant, yeah, I'm not going to be on your side. I will, however, end this video on a more positive note. Just gonna read the top part of this tweet here from Celestium. I'm not for censorship, and I don't like how over-sexualized things have been for the longest time. However, I think we should be focused on funding Christian gaming studios, developing Christian talent, and media companies to pave a different way. A lot, if not all, major publishers are worldly and will focus on business being business, no matter how the morality spins. A good take there, Celestium. I also highly encourage y'all to go back and read the rest of that tweet. She does have the right idea. My skill set is not for video game development, but I'd love to see games use Christian themes to make a truly beautiful piece of art. Depending on how heated the comments are for this video, whether that be in the comments section here or the comment section under the post on my X account, I'd gladly do a follow-up video to this. But anyways, I think I yapped long enough, so I'll catch you guys later.